Ladies and gentlemen, Friday has arrived. Isolated scattered storms will remain in the forecast over the next several days across various parts of Texas. So will the summer heat, but the forecast for the second half of next week? Interesting. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup.
Thank you to Storm Pro Solution for sponsoring today's Texas Weather Roundup. You can find them on the web at stormprosolution.com.
Good morning, I'm Texas Storm Chasers Bully in Chief David Reimer. It is Friday, the 12th of July, 2024, and yeah, it's hot. It's July. It's summer, but it's not 105 to 110 degrees like it was last summer, which is a bonus. And we have rain chances to talk about over the next 7 days. That was definitely not a feature last July, August, or mostly September. Let's get into it with the high-resolution rapid refresh model. This will take us today through tomorrow. You can see scattered pop-up showers and thunderstorms likely again today. The southeastern third of the state, including the entire Texas Gulf Coast, Rio Grande Valley, Rio Grande Plains, South Texas, Coastal Bend, Coastal Plains, Victoria Crossroads, Southeast Texas, Golden Triangle, Brazos Valley, into parts of East Texas tomorrow. Southeastern half of the state will have the opportunity for isolated scattered pop-up thunderstorms during the afternoon hours, and that will also include the Brazos Valley, Central Texas, Hill Country, and the parts of North and East Texas. And again, any pop-ups today, tomorrow, or really for the foreseeable future will have the potential of producing frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, heavy rainfall. It won't be widespread, but it will be enough to cause a quick 1 to 3 inches of rain on a localized basis. Gusty winds, maybe some small hail, southeasterly to southerly winds expected across most of the state over the next few days. As we take a look at the wildfire outlook from the Texas A&M Forest Service, we are anticipating moderate to high wildfire danger across the Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, down into the Trans-Pecos borderland, Davis, Guadalupe Mounds, the Big Bend region of Texas, into portions of the Big Country, Northwest Texas, the Concho Valley, Edwards Plateau, Central Texas, and North Texas. It's hot. Even if it is humid, we have southerly winds, at times gusting over 15 to 25 miles an hour, and the warm afternoon temperatures mean grasses are just starting to dry out and are more combustible. Clearly not the case the eastern quarter of the state after rain from Burl earlier this week, but keep that in mind. Taking a look at the American Longer Range Weather Model, the global forecast system, as we get into Sunday, you can see, yes, still afternoon pop-up thunderstorms possible, southeastern half of the state. And then as we get into early next week, well, maybe not. You can see at least it is not a blank radar screen. Well, really the day-to-day chances will depend on sea breeze positioning, exactly where the upper level heat dome is, but you can see as we get into Tuesday evening, maybe some chances of rain increasing for the Panhandle, West Texas, down into the Edwards Plateau. Now, good news is, as we position ourselves into the second half of next week, generally speaking, upper level heat dome expected to set up across Montana, northwestern United States, and across the southeastern United States out into the open Atlantic. What does that mean for us? We're going to be in that transition pattern, kind of where, well, our weather may be a little more active. Average to slightly above average possibilities of warm temperatures. It's summer. Highs in the 80s, 90s, low triple digits. However, looking at the precipitation outlook, because the heat dome isn't going to be over us, we may actually get into a slightly more active weather pattern, which would favor the possibility of above average precipitation chances the second half of next week. I want to make it clear, I'm not saying we're doing hurricane mischief. That's not what we're talking about here. I'm just talking about the fact we may actually have a bit of a dip in the jet stream, which may bring some storm systems our way, or at least prevent the upper level heat dome from sending its happy self over the state with its subsidence or sinking air above us. So, at least a continuation of scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. We may even see them increase as we get into the second half of next week, which would be nice since rain-cooled air, temperatures not in the hundreds, makes for a happy Baldy in Chief. Baldy in Chief head sweats a lot. Baldy in Chief does not like sweat in his eyes. Baldy in Chief needs to stop referring to himself in the third person. It's going to be hot this afternoon. Highs upper 80s, low 90s across the Texas Gulf Coast, Hill Country, South Texas, higher terrain of the Guadalupe Mounds, Davis Mounds into the Big Bend. Everyone else, mid to upper 90s to low triple digits. Hottest today in the Panhandle and Northwest Texas. Tomorrow, guess what? Near 100. DFW Metroplex up to 87, Northwest Texas into the Panhandle, upper 90s from the Permian Basin through the Big Country into Northwest Texas. The Arklatex, notice how, perhaps not even getting in the 90s tomorrow across parts of the Hill Country, Davis Mounds, Guadalupe Mounds, and still 90s for everyone else. So really, some folks, you're going to be a little below average for July high temperatures. Everyone else, right around average, which, I mean, it's hot, but let's be perfectly clear. It's not 110 degrees, so that in itself is pleasant, but, of course, we still have hundreds of thousands to millions without power in southeast Texas. It's hot, especially without air conditioning. As we get into... There we go. Nope. What did I press? You see, this is why I can't have nice things. I press buttons, so let's just do it the fun way. Sunday's high temperatures across the state, let's just say mid-upper 90s to low triple digits. Big Bend, higher terrain of the Davis Mounds, highs in the mid-80s. Marfa, Alpine, 84 to 85. Ooh, that's not bad at all. Now, let's get into Monday. It's hotter, making it up into the low triple digits. Texoma, North Texas, maybe even the Arklatex, the Panhandle, the Big Country. Hot, highs upper 90s to near 100, down I-35 through Central Texas, the Hill Country down towards Laredo, 99 El Paso, 99 in Laredo, 97 San Antonio, Austin, 100 in Waco, 101 DFW, Wichita Falls, Vernon, up towards Pampa and Borger. And then on Tuesday, same story. It's summer, ladies and gentlemen, but again, second half of next week, some hope we may see increasing precipitation chances across the state. It's Friday, which means it's time for the super duper spinny doomers list. Technically, it's a spinny doomers list, but I like making up my own words and going along with it. So let's give our shout outs here, ladies and gentlemen. Anthony Pelusi, thank you very much for being a spinny doomer. Jacob Benitez, thank you very much for being a spinny doomer. Jacqueline Alvarez, thank you very much, ma'am, for being a spinny doomer. We appreciate it. Love, Lev, Laugh, thank you very much for being a spinny doomer. Manda Cakes, hey, thank you very much for being a spinny doomer. R/Tornado Chats, thank you very much for being a spinny doomer. And of course, Ryan Tucker, thank you, sir, for being a spinny doomer. That'll be it for your Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. As always, you can get your local weather forecast, interactive weather radars, daily Texas Weather Roundup forecasts, and more in the free Texas Storm Chasers mobile app. Just search for Texas Storm Chasers where you download apps for your device. As always, you can find us on YouTube, Texas Weather Center, and Texas Storm Chasers. We're going to go back to our typical schedule, which means our next regular edition of the Texas Weather Roundup will be out bright and early on Monday, the 15th of July. Until then, you can tune in to our social media channels and weather blog for weather updates. Y'all have a great Friday. Y'all have a great weekend. Those of you without power, I hope you get it back. I know the linemen are working quite hard. As always, stay safe. God bless. We'll chat again with y'all soon.